Bro, this episode was so fucking camp. The twins got done in by Bleed 'em Hank, bro. Hank was so fucking badass this episode. I can't even get over it. They got done in by fucking Bleed 'em Hank. Now, I knew the instant I saw those flowers that he was gonna die. Again, I don't really know if he's dead or not at this point, but I think he is gonna die. But I knew the instant I saw those flowers that it was his D-Day. I knew. Because it was too happy. Oh, the charges are dropped. Oh, he finally cried and opened up to Marie. He dropped the mask for 10 seconds. He dropped the mask. And then he talked to her in the bedroom. I've been a lousy cop. It isn't just Jesse. Like, this is the kind of cop I've been. Right? We saw him at the bar fight. Like, this is the kind of cop he's been for the last few months after the Tuco thing. And he even admitted, like, that he has panic attacks, that he's suffering from something. He doesn't have a name for it, but he knows he's not right in the mind. He knows that. So I knew, okay, this is the end of a character arc. So he might just fucking die. Because when a character kind of completes their arc, it's like, okay, well, what's the use for that character anymore? They're probably gonna die. And so Hank took 4 fucking bullets. He took 4 bullets. And, oh my God, the butterfly effect this episode. The butterfly effect. So we get these twins. We need vests, right? We need vests. They get in this car with this guy who won't stop fucking talking. I thought they were going to shoot that guy. I thought they were going to kill him just for being annoying. I thought they were literally going to kill a guy or kill him and steal his guns or something. They go in there. The guy's like, here's a bullet, like a crazy bullet that explodes people's head on the house. Flips it to him. He catches it and he just puts it in his fucking pocket, just willy-nilly, Probably never ever going to use that bullet. Doesn't give a damn about the bullet. Puts it in his pocket. Who cares? The butterfly effect. That last bullet is what saves Hank's life. Now, I would have been Hank in that situation, right? I would have aimed for the fucking chest because it's easier. It's easier to aim and get something important when you get the chest. Whereas with the head, somebody can, people have more control. It takes a lot more to move your whole torso than it does to move your head. So it's easier to miss with the head. So he empties his cart on his chest, not knowing that he's wearing a vest. But the butterfly effect of him having to refill his gun at that moment, I'm thinking, oh, while he's refilling his gun, Hank's gonna get him, which Hank did wait for. He heard him refilling the gun. He heard him take the cartridge out I don't know how the fuck. I don't know the gun terms, but he hears him take his cartridge out. So that's when he shows himself and aims for him. But that's when he gets, he's not quick enough and he gets shot. And then the guy's about to shoot him in the face and he's like, you know what? Let's make you suffer. He goes to get his axe, right? That one bullet, when he was taking out the extra cart for his gun, that one bullet that the annoying guy gave to him falls out of his pocket. And by golly, Hank puts that son of a bitch in his gun, shoots this guy in the head, and kills him on spot. Crazy. Hank is a beast. Say anything you want about Hank, he's a fucking beast. And his zest for survival, I just felt it in that moment. Call it toxically masculine, right? He gets, I bit my tongue. Call it toxically masculine. Call it whatever you want. He gets this call. He thinks, oh, this could be one of Pinkman's jokes again, like the Marie thing. 2 people are coming to kill you. You have 1 minute. Does he take off running for his life? No, he stays and fights. Which I fucking applaud him. He has no gun. He has nothing. But he chooses to stay and fight. And I don't know if it was the curiosity in him, like, this was just some fucking hoax, blah, 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 blah. This was just a fucking, somebody's playing with me right now. I don't know if it was that or if it was, fuck, because he was scared. He was looking around. And, fuck, I have so many thoughts. People who are paranoid notice the darndest things, right? His anxiety and his paranoia picked up on the twins, right? Any normal person who got that phone call and thought it was a joke, they would have been like, what the fuck? Right, anyways, let me put my phone in my car charger and turn on my music so I can get ready to go. But no, Hank, with being primed with his Santa Monica stuff, El Paso stuff, being primed with that and being primed with his dissociation and his paranoia and his mental, like, he's on fucking edge all the time because of that El Paso stuff. The same thing that made him on edge enough to beat the fuck out of Jesse, to yell at the doctors, where's Marie, even though she wasn't there. That same edge is what has saved his fucking life. Because anybody else got that call, they would have been freaked out, like, that is the scariest shit I've ever heard. And they may have pulled off and ran or some shit, right? But the fact that he was already primed with this heightened, like, cortisol, this heightened fight or flight, he's looking around, he notices literally with 1 second to spare, he notices, okay, there's a guy putting something on top of his car. There's a woman with her grocery bag. This shadow's out of place. This is a suspicious shadow. He sees the twins separate, one in front, one in back. He sees this all, like, in his periphery with how, like, anxious and on edge he is. Nobody else would have caught that. And that's something to be understood. He caught that because he was fucking paranoid. So he sees the guy in the back, he ducks somehow, and he gets shot twice, like, I think in the arm and in the back. And then he gets shot in the stomach a couple times. I honestly think it's over for him. I really do, which is sad because shit was looking up for him. And his police chief was like, yeah, like, maybe you have a guardian angel. And he's like, you know what? Yeah. Because Jesse just dropped the charges. And it's so, like, it's not about Walt, but at the same time, it is about Walt. You win some, you lose some. The best thing I ever heard a poet say was every breath you take has to be given back. So if you think about it, like, let's say the inhale was Jesse, like, you know, okay, I'm fine, we'll be partners. The exhale is losing Hank. I do think Hank's gonna die. I really do think that. And that is so fucking sad because after he opened up to Marie, I'm starting to like his character. After he's like, you know what, let me just own up to this shit I did. I've been a lousy fucking cop. I was starting to like his character because his arc completed. You know what I'm saying? So that made me like him. And so I do think this is a good spot for him to die if that's what is gonna happen. Because we lost one of the biggest threats in this series, these two fucking despicable, disgusting twins. We lost them. And so a noble sacrifice, you know, a equally weighted thing for all the evil. There has to be good, right? Hank is good. I think Hank's death along with their death cancels each other out and is really good. I think that's good for the story. If all three of them died here. Yes, I took out this threat for you, but I also lost my life in the process. Hank died so that Walt could live, and it was all Gus's doing. Fucking Gus killed Hank. Jesus. That's a lot. That is so fucking much. Now let's get on to Gus. I feel like he has some sort of soft spot for Walt. I do think Gus has some sort of soft spot for Walt, or maybe he just is really that serious about his 3 months with Walt, then kill him or whatever. But it's looking like that won't even be a problem anymore because these fucking twins are dead. Unless Tuco has a whole fucking barrage of relatives that are gonna cross the border and come try and kill Walt and Hank. Hank is probably dead at this point. I really do think Hank died, which would be really unfortunate because Hank really did, like, surprise me and impress the fuck out of me. Like, when he crawled his fat ass out of that car after the first shots, and he somehow made it, like, around a couple other cars, this guy was not playing games. This guy wanted to make it home to his wife. Oh, my God. Marie's gonna be so distraught. I'm, like, not even ready for that. Like, they just got through something so stressful, which I do feel really bad about. But anyways, that's enough about Hank. Hank is a goat. Hank, he blew my fucking mind. He blew my fucking mind. That is beyond anything I expected from him. Like, the training really shined through because not just anybody would have been able to do that. With his weight, the stomach on that guy, he was able to do all that? Bleed him Hank. That's why they wanted his ass in El Paso. Now it makes sense. Anyways, let's get on to Skylar. Skylar shows up at Walt's house. She's like, can you do something about Hank's trial? Jesse Pinkman, I know you're in cahoots with him in some way. He's like, there's nothing I can do. Walt obviously has a soft spot for Hank. He's like, that's not my family anymore. We're divorced. But he still has a soft spot, which is why I believe he fired his annoying ass assistant. That guy's really weird. When Walt was drinking that coffee, I'm like, he probably spiked that, put some of his own special, put a special ranch up in that coffee, if you know what I mean. Like, that guy was weird as fuck. He made my skin crawl. He's like, I think we're gonna be the best of friends. I'm like, dude, you're 48. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? But yeah, he was very weird, sort of assistant guy, and I knew he was gonna give Walt the ick sooner or later. He wore flip-flops. He was fucking weird. And so Walt's like, okay, I need my assistant, Jesse. I need Jesse. And then he's like, let's be partners. So Jesse, let's get on to Jesse because he's very fucking valid. He's like, ever since I met you, Walt, right? He gets a fucking beat down. Hank beats the fuck out of Jesse. How did you get my number and my wife's name? Who the fuck do you work for? I was right. Of course he was going to ask that because there's no way Jesse should have had access to that shit at all. But anyway, beats the fuck out of Jesse. Jesse goes to the hospital. Saul's like, okay, well, now they're scared of you. Don't do anything. Like, you have the picture. You can bring them fucking down. You can sue the fuck out of them. They're not going to mess with you anymore. Jesse's like, oh, fuck that. Nah, I'm going to make it so his wife, him, and his kids have to pay me for the rest of their lives. Like, his kids are going to be fucking paying me. He's going to, once he loses his house, his job, everything, he's going to be scrubbing a toilet in Mexico, and he's going to be making pennies, and I'm going to be there waiting for my share. I was like, dark? Like, Jesse's dark as fuck. God damn. But I was like, justified. Like, I feel it. He got the fuck beat out of him. He really did. But your wife's in the hospital was crude as fuck. It really was. I mean, it did work, but that beat down, damn, that was a really bad beat down. But when you think about it, Jesse is the one who brought, unknowingly, but he is the one who led Hank right to them, so it's like, I don't want to say it's his fault, and I also don't want to say he's responsible, but his ass got kicked because he's in this line of work. So, I mean, I'm expecting it for him. I was expecting it. You can't just joke about somebody's wife like that. Like, they're in the hospital and shit, and give a man who's already on his last fucking brain cell another fucking panic attack in the hospital. No. I wanted Jesse to get that ass whooping. I wanted Walt to get that ass whooping, but obviously, Walt couldn't have been the receiver of that. Jesse's like, you don't have a warrant, man. Get the fuck out of my house. Like, shit, he don't give a fuck about that warrant. He's here for you, bitch. But anyway, Jesse was very valid in the shit he was saying to Walt. He's like, ever since I met you, I've lost everything. Literally everything. People have died. I've lost fucking things. I have no one. Literally no one. And then ultimately, that is what brings him back to Walt, the fact that he has no one. And I'm pretty sure he probably remembered those instances of Walt caring. Because he even tells him, you don't care about me at all. And Walt's unable to say, I do care about you, but he's proven with action. You know, they do have a tumultuous relationship, but Walt has proven more times than not that he does care about Jesse, right? He got Jesse's lick back on Tuco when Tuco beat the fuck out of him, right? He blasted the fucking chemical meth lookalike in his face and blew up his first hideout. What else? He made sure Jesse got clean after Jane died. He also killed Jane. He's just really fucking weird. He wants Jesse, like, near him at all costs. But I do think this point in time, he only wanted Jesse near him to save Hank. To save Hank and Marie from everything. So I do wonder if, like, Skylar is gonna blame Walt or Jesse for what happens to Hank here. I really do wonder that. And honestly, it would be fair, but at the same time, it would not be fair. First of all, the only person to blame for a death, like for killing someone, is a person who pulls the trigger. Point blank, period. So these twins are the ones who are at fault for that, but at the same time, it's a whole fucking line. It's a whole long line of who did what to do what to get to this point. So Gus did this to do that to get to that point. But first Walt did this to get Gus to do, you know what I'm saying? It's a never-ending chain, and pretty sure at some point it becomes a circle, you know. But this is really sad. Hank is going out real sad. Of course, it's when everything is resolved, when he's ready to start being a good husband, when he's ready to turn a new leaf, when he first... That elevator scene was fucking hysterical. You can tell how much Hank attaches his identity to his badge, to being a police officer, because when he turned that shit in, I saw him, like, bleeding on the inside. I saw. And so, damn, Hank is going out real sad. Him not having his gun in the car. Ugh. Just so much went wrong here. So much went wrong here. But he's smart as fuck. We have to give him credit for crashing into that one twin and backing up far enough to make sure he drops the gun into the back seat. Fucking iconic, smart-ass officer right there. Like, I literally can't stop sucking Hank's dick right now because that's how impressed I was with that. That was, like, I'm mind blown. That was such a good fucking scene. If I remember nothing else from the show, it will be that scene. Like, this is an episode I would come back to rewatch because of how epic that was. I was fucking epic. Yes. I'm just gonna watch the next episode already because I can't wait to see how this affects Skylar, Walt, and Marie. I feel really horrible. But I do think Hank's done for. I do think he's gonna die from his injuries. But that was badass. He did not go down without a fight. He went down swinging, and he took out two of the most ruthless bad guys I think I've ever seen in any fucking thing. You know, anything without superheroes and shit. These are some real fucking menacing guys. And Hank took them out. Hard fucking core. That also lends the question, who warned Hank? Gus? Does Gus care a little bit? Gus cares a little bit. He does. He does. But then again, why the fuck would the twins tell Gus their plan? Or maybe they're tracking the twins. Or maybe it was that guy who, like, tapped Walt's house who works for Saul. Maybe he gave him the heads up. I don't know. But I do want to find that out as well. I want to find out who gave Hank the heads up. Because he quite literally does have a guardian angel.